I'm going to tell you in a nutshell why you're attracted to unavailable men and are not attracted to men who are available, ready to commit, ready to be with you. This is, women, if you're into women, apply that. And stay tuned till the end because we're going to talk about how you can heal this. Okay, because obviously this is all about healing this. So, of course, this all goes back to childhood, and we do have to talk about that a little bit to understand. And it does start with the relationship that you had with your parents. So, in some way, shape, or form, your parents were not available, whether emotionally or physically, and they did not choose you. Or at least that's how you translated it to your childlike brain. You translate it as like you weren't good enough to be chosen, because if you were good enough to be chosen, then your parents would have been more present or available and loving, but instead they neglected you, or they were absent, or they chose work or friends or drugs or whatever over you, right? And all of these experiences created who you are today and how you feel about yourself, as well as the types of people that you're attracted to and how you are in relationships. So essentially, you're subconsciously trying to relive your childhood in these adult relationships, which is why you keep going for partners who make you feel similar to how you felt in childhood, as a way to repair the connection with your parents through these partners, hoping that you will finally be chosen by them and have your deep emotional needs met. What it comes down to is a fear of abandonment. So you probably felt abandoned when your parents weren't around, or they weren't present with you, or when they invalidated you or dismissed you, judged you, criticized you, abused you, hurt you. So you assumed that there was something wrong with you. So you tried everything that you could to please them and become whoever you needed to be to get their love and attention, therefore abandoning your true self. You didn't feel seen or loved just for being you. You had to earn their love and become something more. You had to perform in some sort of a way. So today, you associate being your true, real, raw, authentic, vulnerable self with rejection and abandonment. So when an available man is ready to be with you and love you for who you are, you sense that that's dangerous because it's going to lead to abandonment. So you keep people pleasing, assuming that no one cares about what you have to say. You think you're a burden. You don't want to take up too much space. You neglect your own needs to meet the needs of all of these other people, because that is what you learn will get you love as a child. So you purposely go for the unavailable men because they remind you of your parents, so it's very familiar, but you confuse that with safety. The irony is that the more that you abandon yourself, the more that these men also abandon you. So you're actually setting yourself up for abandonment, even though that's the thing that you fear the most. So here's the thing. You grew up with the idea that love has to be earned and it's not just given. That you have to please everybody in order to earn love. Your experience of connection from early childhood is that getting love and attention and validation and acceptance is a struggle. So you're naturally attracted to partners and people whose love you have to fight for, chase, and earn. So this is the pattern. Love didn't just come naturally. It didn't just flow. It was a struggle. So people who try to love you just because, or because, they're ready to be with you, you're turned off by. It's not natural. And you don't see that as love. We're also scared of that because the moment that we are brave enough to show up for this person and be vulnerable and show our parts to this person, they might reject us. That's what we fear, that they might reject us once we do show these parts, just as we got rejected when we were children. And essentially we fear abandonment, so we try to protect ourselves, thereby not desiring this person because we are still wounded inside. So the wounded part of us is attracted to the wounded part in another. The connection that we feel is fleeting. It's a dopamine rush that we get addicted to. The high that we feel when an unavailable man gives us attention, right? It gives the illusion that they love us, but that feeling is only temporary. When deep down, we actually feel deeply unfulfilled, and we're actually scared that this man's gonna leave us, right? So we become attached, anxious, clingy, controlling, demanding, and we give all of our power away to this man and how he feels and what he's gonna do while we wait for fate to be determined. Yet we wonder, why can't this man just love me for me? Why can't he just love me without having to perform or do some sort of act, right? So as time goes on, you start to resent him because you start to realize that you've been neglecting yourself in your whole life this whole time, and that your life is actually falling apart. You've been giving to him. You've been just ready to jump when he says, meet all of his needs while dismissing what you need. And God forbid you'd ask him what you need. You don't even go there because you're afraid that he's going to reject you. You're afraid he's going to dismiss it. You're afraid he's going to gaslight you or make you feel like you're the problem, because this is what you experienced in childhood when you spoke your needs. So instead you stay quiet and you just assume that you're the problem. It's so fucked up. You think that doing everything for him is going to make him choose you, but really this makes him run from you, okay? Oftentimes, when you're dealing with another unavailable person and wounded person, they have their own problems and their own triggers. So when you become smothering, you're overgiving, you're oversharing, you're consumed by him, this actually makes him run away and therefore become even more unavailable. So this is a self-fulfilling prophecy, but somehow subconsciously you're okay with this and you want this because it confirms the belief and the narrative that you're not lovable and no one will choose you. You keep chasing avoidant men because deep down inside you don't believe that the true you is worthy of love, so you validate that belief through your experiences with unavailable men. And the cycle continues until you wake up. Okay, wake up to the pattern. That the idea that you're not lovable when you show your true self, good and bad, flawed and imperfect, raw and vulnerable, right? Because why would anyone love the true you? You even hate the the true you, right? Like, you don't even love who you truly are. So you have this idea that you need to perform, you need to earn someone's love, that it doesn't just come naturally. And all of this is based on a fear of abandonment, aka not being chosen. So you subconsciously choose men who won't choose you because it confirms your fear and belief that you're not worthy of being chosen. So what do we do about this now that we recognize this pattern? So the reality is that you don't have to do anything to earn love, okay? You can just be and exist and be loved for that. You don't have to be anything more than what you are. You don't have to perform to be loved, okay? You can just be you, all of you, and that is enough to be loved. So that's something that's really important for you to know. Okay, so how do we heal this? So the way that you start healing is by, number one, starting to choose yourself and not abandoning or rejecting yourself. Okay, no wonder men abandon you. I mean, you're not even showing up for yourself. You're not even choosing yourself. So the first thing that you must do is to choose yourself. Practice that. The second thing that I want you to practice is to start putting yourself out there with men, being your true self, knowing that you might be rejected for it. Okay, so the goal here isn't to be perfect and accepted. It's to face what it feels like to be abandoned and not chosen. So that in that moment that you feel that way, you know, instead of falling apart and your whole world being questioned and demolished, you find the power within to choose yourself, to love yourself, to validate yourself, to accept yourself in all the ways that you wish that your parent or your partner would have done for you in those moments of abandonment, okay? So in this way, you build a really strong relationship with yourself where you're your own safe place, and you're never fearing abandonment again because you know that if it happens, you have your own back, okay? So you stop people pleasing, you stop looking for approval because you have faced this fear within yourself, and now you have the tools to self-soothe and self-nurture and self-validate, something that you've always relied on other people to do for you. And it is when you have this deep love and acceptance for yourself, all of your parts, the imperfect, the needy, the wounded, the too much, that you start to feel comfortable with showing that side to others and getting comfortable with other people, you know, loving you for it and accepting you for it. And you allow yourself to start receiving this kind of love from a partner who is fully ready to be with you and devoted to you, right? You attract your own state. So the journey starts with you. Start to take up space. Start to speak your needs. Start to exercise your boundaries. Stop making everything about them. Start making things about you. Okay, start to choose yourself. Start becoming comfortable with the idea or the possibility that you will be rejected by these men, that you're not going to be chosen, that you're not going to be liked, and just sit with that. And learn to validate and love yourself in those moments, okay? Be enough for yourself. Please yourself. Start familiarizing yourself with what that feels like. What does it feel like to be rejected, to choose yourself, to love yourself, to validate yourself, okay? This is going to get you to expand out of your comfort zone. And in the case that you are rejected by someone, okay, this is your golden opportunity to practice self-worth. Okay, to find your power, give yourself love, self-validate, accept the shadow parts of you that might be coming up and triggered, okay? Through this process, you're gonna learn to have compassion and love for yourself, and you're gonna build a strong relationship with yourself. You're gonna stop hating yourself because you realize, how could you hate yourself? You see everything that you've been through, you see that all you ever needed as a child is love and acceptance, and now this is playing out in these relationships, and who better to give that to you than you? The more that you focus on strengthening the relationship that you have with yourself, the more authentic and free that you're going to be in relationships, the less that you're going to fear abandonment because now you have your own back, you're your own safe place, and now you're going to attract and be attracted to men who are ready to embrace all of who you are and love the fuck out of you. And even better, you're going to be able to receive this love because you finally know that you're worth it, okay? You finally know that you're lovable. So that is what I have for you. Just want you to know that you're not alone on this journey. I wish you so much strength on your healing, and I'm sending you all my love. Bye.